Up first, we have Dan Quilt, a very talented straighter player in our local area. A lot of honor scores, is always a threat, sneaky good. He's going to be comparing to the original idol and the virtual energy blackout. Let's see what he thinks.
When I first threw a couple of shots, it seemed to me like it was a little bit, I don't know, it was burning up a little bit. I mean, it is a bigger ball. A couple of the shots, at least to line up, by the time it got down there, it seemed to hit a little weak, which tells me it was probably burning up. So I moved in just a little bit, a couple more boards to get in the oil a little bit more, and then from there, it seemed to be reading right and going through the pins properly. I carried several shots. I think there was a couple times I sent it wide, it made it back, and a couple times, I think once in particular, I got it a little inside and it went through the face, left 4.9, 4.79. So it's performing to me like one of my big balls. So now I want to try my idol. It's the original OG idol. One of the reasons why I chose that ball is it works really well in this house. This house seems to be a little higher friction for me, and so the older idol, original idol, just at lane shine, seems to work really well here. So I want to throw that ball and see how it compares to the new ball. So I threw the idol. I had to move a couple boards right, and the idol is much cleaner for me. Symmetric core, you know, it's very smooth, you might say. When I compare it to the X-Cell definitely seemed like it would get to the spot and it would move a little bit more. The overall, the idol to me was very smooth, very controllable, very predictable. So it does change my perception a little bit that the X-Cell now does seem to be a little bit stronger than what I was anticipating originally. So that's kind of my first impression comparing it to my idol. So now I want to try and compare it to my virtual energy blackout, which is right now my favorite ball in my bag. No matter where I go, it seems to be a ball that scores really well for me. And so I want to try it and see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. So I threw the Vivo a couple of shots. For me, the Vivo was a little over-under. It's a strong ball, but it gets down the lane and it does respond to the friction. So that's why I kind of prefer the idol to this. But it does change, like I feel like I would throw the X-Cell, like that would be one of the balls I'd probably choose here, just because it is a solid cover. It's going to burn up a little bit more. I think it'll get rid of that over-under that I was seeing. And so I think it does become a ball that's useful, especially in this center with a little more friction for me. After throwing the ball and comparing it to the other two balls that I threw today, I think the X-Cell for me, the rating I'd give it would be fire. I actually think I would adjust the surface a little bit more. I think I'd put, I think it comes at 2,000. I think I'd take it down to 1,000 or 800. Something to dig in just a little bit more. It seems to be a ball that I'll use on the fresh, on heavier conditions, or if I'm trying to control the brake with high friction centers too. That seems to be where I would use the ball in my bag.
Up next, we have Hunter Mays, two-handed lefty, a lot of power, bowling the PBA regionals and successful JBT career. He's going to be comparing to the Reality and Black Widow 2.0 hybrid. Let's see what he thinks.
So it's actually a lot lot slower than I thought it was going to be. Really, I thought it was going to, I get really up the back of the ball. My tilt's really low normally, just a normal casual shot, my tilt's really low. So I really like to roll the ball. So this ball, I thought was going to be a little bit kind of cleaner than a gem, cleaner than the bigger asymmetrical bowling balls. And it was still really slow. I really had to get around it to make it hook. So the one shots you'll see that I'll like throw a messenger or something, that's me just going back to those tendencies of really rolling it. So yeah, but other than that, it looked really good. Kind of went through the pins pretty well. So we're gonna see if the lane is actually making the ball slow. So we're gonna throw the reality and see if that ball actually is slower too. Normally it's probably, I would say, a little bit quicker than that ball, than the XL. So we'll see if it's the same. So, in typical fashion, I make a house shot look like red square. But I was trying, my idea with this ball, with the XL, is to replace the reality. The reality, I've drilled 2 or 3 of them, and they've all been really good. This ball was to try to replace it, and it really did look very similar. I was kind of surprised. I thought the reality was going to kind of come off the friction some, but the lane may be sloped down to the left side because nothing hooks. So we're gonna go to the Black Widow 2.0 hybrid now and see if that ball's quicker or if it's the lane. Normally the Black Widow 2.0 hybrid is definitely going to be my most boards covered ball. It's kind of cleaner, so it'll definitely cover more boards than your stronger balls. Your stronger balls will kind of hook more, read the early lane a little bit more, so that's to be expected to see that ball kind of hook way more. I did notice that if you kind of got fast with the 2.0, it really blew through the shot. With the other balls may not have blown through the shot, it actually hit the head pin. So overall, I think the XL is really close to my reality, which is really kind of surprising. I want it to happen, so maybe that ball will come out more rather than the reality. On this oil pattern, I would probably give it a fire. It may be pretty good on some house shot conditions. I think it's really going to strive on some heavier oil patterns when maybe I can't throw urethane, unfortunately. But yeah, I would say it's fire probably overall, and maybe if I get some more games on it, maybe nuts. So
We hope you found this video useful. As always, if you like videos like this, make sure you hit subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.